By pausing immigration, we'll help put unemployed Americans first in line for jobs as America reopens. So important.
President Trump signed the executive order that he's been tweeting about. And what it does essentially is temporarily block several major categories of immigration visa applicants. Even though Trump had tweeted that this was going to be a shutdown of in the U.S. immigration system more broadly, the order has some very important exceptions. So it doesn't apply to immigrants who are already living and working in the United States, who are trying to adjust their status and become legal permanent residents with green cards. It also doesn't apply to the spouses and children under age 21 of U.S. citizens. But it does apply to the other family categories that the president and some of his immigration advisors deride as chain migration. And we're talking about the visa categories, for example, that allow U.S. citizens and permanent residents to sponsor their parents, their siblings, or their adult children. Most notably, it does not impact temporary workers or what are known as non-immigrant visas. So farm workers, medical professionals, high-tech workers, that type of thing, they are not affected at all by this order.
His critics call it pandering to his base, while some on the right say the president hasn't gone far enough.
One of the ironies of this order so far is that it seems to both disappoint the restrictionist groups that want him to eliminate temporary worker categories, because those workers will be not covered by this order. But it's also set his critics, who are among immigrant advocates and Democrats, who view this as a backdoor way for his administration to achieve what it hasn't been able to do legislatively, which is to overhaul the U.S. immigration system and end the kind of family-based migration that has been the basis of our immigration system for the past several decades. As we know, the president is running for re-election, and his immigration record and his effort to build a wall at the southern border with Mexico are central to his re-election pitch and his pitch to his supporters. As a practical matter, it's hard to see how this actually changes much, at least right now, because so much of international travel has been shut down. Visa appointments, interviews, things like that have also virtually been halted. The real question is, when the country begins to open up and things do begin to normalize, does this order remain in place? Because it's contingent on the state of the U.S. job market and not tied to the pandemic necessarily, I think we can expect that this is going to be something he will look to renew, and he will probably continue to campaign on as an example of the kind of measures he's taking to limit immigration to the United States.